If you want to master this, and again, if you want to dominate, and that's what we set out to do, all right, you just have to be disciplined to keep doing it, even on the days you don't feel like doing it. If you do that, I can guarantee you your competitors won't. And that is how you're going to dominate your market. All right. There are a lot of other lawyers that have watched me. I've had them copy my webinars and they've done 2, 3, and that's it. They've stopped. It's a lot of work. They weren't really seeing anything and they moved on to something else. Hey guys, it's Eric Green here from Tax Rep Network. All right. I want to be very clear about something. Okay. If you're going to be in business, you must learn to dominate. All right. You are going to dominate your business. We do not get into business to just compete. All right. And I'm bringing this up because I'm getting a lot of feedback, on the $1 Million Practice book where people are, I'm going to try this. I'm going to try very wishy-washy. No. All right. What we do is we go into business, we go all in and we dominate. Now, how do you do that? How do you dominate your market, your business, your area, your piece of the internet turf? I'm going to break that down for you during this episode, okay? Just me, no guest. I wanted this to be one-on-one with me and you, okay? So first and foremost, we are going to change our mindset and we are going to dominate. So for me, IRS representation, we dominate Connecticut. Now, we're known nationally, but I'm really more interested in Connecticut. That is where my clients come from. Honestly, I'm not so interested in trying to compete in California and Texas. And there's plenty of work right here. Okay, I don't need to go looking nationally. All right, there's plenty of people in trouble right where I am. All right, in lovely New Haven, Connecticut. Right, so my goal is to dominate New Haven and the surrounding areas of New Haven here in Connecticut. Now, when I say dominate, what do I mean? That anybody who thinks about somebody with a tax problem in Connecticut, they're going to think about Green and Sklar's. They will not be able to go onto their smartphone or on their computer or on the internet and not find me. Okay? This, by the way, is not complicated. It's not complicated. This has nothing to do with getting a college degree or a doctorate or 30 years of experience. This is literally about mindset and a lot of action. All right. You just show up and get to work. Now, a couple things. All right. Again, I'm going to break this down for you how we do this. Not complicated, but we need to do it. All right. What do I mean by that? We want to get to the top of the mountain. How do we get there? We have to climb the mountain. Now, you can go fast, you can go slow, doesn't matter, but you got to climb the mountain. This long slog of doing the marketing and the networking and getting your skills together and all of that stuff. Now, you can do this fairly quickly, or you can sort of meander. It's up to you. I don't know what you want, but if you want to dominate this, and again, I'm going to focus on IRS representation here, but if you want to dominate your part of the internet, where you are, where you live, where your clients are, you can do that this year. It doesn't take years and years. Now, it helps the longer you do it. You keep building. But this is something I found that I left a big firm, started my own practice. Within 2 years, I was making more than I was back at that big firm. All right. I basically had made up my salary on an annualized basis by the end of the first year. Now, when I left, I went at this like a crazy person, right? Like I was just obsessed with building a practice and being one of the people really known for this. And at the time, we actually had a lot of competition here in Connecticut. There were about 12 lawyers, all former IRS and DOJ, that did this. Today, we have almost nobody that competes with us, right? Part of that, as those folks have retired, a lot of people have not gone into this. My biggest competition, honestly, is other tax rep members, okay? But if you want to focus on financial planning, you want to focus on forensic accounting, you want to focus on bookkeeping, accounting, it doesn't matter. Whatever it is you want to dominate, you can do that. But you have to focus on it, change your mindset, and you got to make it happen, all right? So step number 1, how do you do this, all right? So first and foremost, whatever it is you want to do, You need to become a master of it. You can't dominate IRS representation if you don't know how to represent taxpayers. All right. So, first and foremost, and by the way, if you're sitting there going, well, I don't know what I'm doing, that's fine. We just got to get trained. In whatever it is you want to do, you go find the best training you can and you do that. All right. And again, you don't meander through it. My honest advice, and I'm not trying to be a jerk, turn the fucking TV off, put your phone down at night, work all day, go home, spend a couple hours with your family. All right. From 7:30 to 11:30 at night is plenty of time to do damage. 4 hours, 5 days a week. I'm not even asking you to do your weekends. That's 20 hours a week. Give me 2 weeks, you can get through all of our training, the core CTRC and the other important training around that, including our marketing training. You could get done in 2 weeks if you're willing to sit down, be disciplined, and just put your head down and do this. Right? We're committed to it. We are going to focus on this. We're going to dominate, and we're just going to get this done. I'm not going to do a little here and then be tired, and I got to watch my show. Sorry. All right? Right? We're going to focus and do this. All right? So first of all, we got to get trained. The other way you get trained is you immerse yourself. So yes, there's training materials, but there's other training. There's audiobooks. There's videos. Go on YouTube and find channels that are good for you. Maybe you're watching this on YouTube. All right? Go find a YouTube channel that's good for your YouTube channels that are good for you. All right? Video, audio, reading. These are all different ways to learn. Okay? I don't know if you, for me, I drive back and forth to work. I listen to audiobooks. All right? Every now and then I'll admit, if I'm having a bad day, I might listen to music. But for the most part, I'm listening to my audiobooks. And it's how I get through all these books every year because I don't have a ton of time to just sit and read. That's what I do. I'm audiobook. If I'm flying to a conference, I'm flying to meetings, wherever, training out in New York, there's a couple hours each way, audiobook. Okay? You want to have a board of directors. You want to have some folks that you can go to for advice. These aren't people you're paying. I mean, I've had and by the way, people will come and go in and out of your board of directors. Sid Kess was always on my board of directors. Okay? A former attorney is now retired, John Tannenbaum here in Connecticut, was very helpful to my career. We'd go to lunch, I could ask advice, and he was just very, forthcoming with me, giving me advice, what he had learned along the way and his thoughts. You want to have a board of directors so when you get jammed up, you have someone to go and talk to. Like a tax rep, we're your help desk, right? So our tax rep members can log on and they can talk to us. If they get jammed up, me, Jeff, Lisa, Amanda, we're all here, and we give them our 2 cents on the matter. So you want to have a board of directors, and this will take time. You're going to have to meet people. You don't just send out an email, would you be on my board of directors? This is one, you don't even have to call it the board of directors, but you want to have some folks in your professional world that you can bounce things off of. This is why it's very important to get involved in organizations, because you will meet other like-minded people just like you who can be helpful, good networking, advice, training, all of that. All right. And finally, in terms of just becoming a master, embrace the technology and automate everything you can. Could you do, and again, I'm going to focus on IRS rep, could you do IRS representation without any software? Yeah, you could. The forms are on the IRS website. The tables are on the IRS website. But we are much more efficient, much more profitable because of tax help software, because of Ignition. Okay? So you're going to want to automate everything that you can automate, right? If you're a tax pro or an accountant, Ignition, automate the engagement letters, make sure everything gets signed, make sure you get paid up front. Right? Especially if you're going to do relationship pricing, getting paid up front. Don Brolin and I did a whole episode on this a couple weeks ago. You may want to go check that out. I'll put a link, have something pop up here, I think, and you can go check that out. But how to use your accountant. But she talks about how she transitioned to relationship pricing. But a lot of her profitability and the fact that she's got way more free time now, even during tax season, is because of the automation. Lisio, Ignition, Gruntworks, RC Reports. tax help software. We automate everything we can automate. And one more point on that. Some of you are going to sit there and think, yeah, but that's $200 a month and that's $700 for the year. A couple things. First of all, and you got to start thinking like a business owner. The government's paying for part of it. It's deductible. It's part of my business. All right. So I'm not paying $300 a month, right? Probably 35% is in tax savings. I'm paying $200 for that. But here's the other thing. How many hours do I save not chasing people for engagement letters, not checking out to see if we got paid? All right. Dawn, I think in that episode said she'd already collected like 170,000. It was the second week of February for tax season. I mean, she was like 70,000 ahead of where she was the year before, simply by automating that. All right. So all of this stuff, Licio, you're going to cut out hours and hours if you do tax prep. Gruntworks will automate it. Now, yeah, you have to review the return. No software is perfect, but that stuff should just be automated. All right. So embrace technology, put the software in place, automate everything you can, and you're going to find that you have free time. So if you're looking at, well, it's costing me money. Yeah, but one, it's a deduction, so the government's helping pay for it. Number two, you're getting back all this time. And number three, what are you going to do with all that time? Make more money. All right. So we are going to master this. And by mastering, get trained, make sure we have a board of directors. We're going to immerse ourselves, audio, video, reading, going to talks, doing everything we can to become a master of what we do. And we're going to automate everything we can to be as efficient, as profitable as possible. All right. Number two, we need to market ourselves. Now, marketing is a word. A lot of accountants are like, I don't like marketing. Marketing is simply getting attention. You need to get attention for yourself, your brand, your logo, whatever. All right. You need to get attention. If you have to go out with a bullhorn and scream to do it, then do that. But we need to get attention. So we're going to market ourselves. I want to dispel a few things about marketing. You do not need to spend much, if any, money for marketing today. There are some wonderful free things, all based on the internet. You can blog. I do. YouTube videos. If you're watching this on YouTube, I'm sitting here, Zoom, record. You can get a free Zoom. You're limited on the amount of time. I have the paid version. Was it with $15 a month or whatever it is? It's nothing. All right. I can sit and record, put this out there, and share my message with the world. You have a referral network. I bet you have friends and family that like you. You probably even have a couple clients that like you. These are your best salespeople. Most people would prefer to get referred to somebody. Even me. I mean, I'll tell Jeff, hey, do you know a plumber? I need something, blah, blah, blah. He'll say, oh, yeah, we use this person, love them. I'm just calling that person. I'm not doing internet searches and all that. I'm calling who I got referred to. The folks who already like you are your best sales force. And if they don't know that you do something, they can't send people to you. So make sure you're communicating, right, with your referral network. In terms of just putting stuff out there, and again, I really just want to, kind of dispel some of this stuff. When I talk about blogging, 300 to 500 words, that's it. It's like 2, maybe 3 paragraphs. You can go out and look at my blogs. They're not long. They're not complicated. I'm not trying to teach someone how to do an offer. I'm discussing what they need to know to understand I'm the guy they need to do an offer and compromise. That's it. That's all we're doing. All right. The old days, you'd write a book, and and you can build credibility through being an author. It's a lot of time, a lot of effort, a lot of expense. And I don't know that you get the bang for the buck. I think blogging once or twice a week, if you could do it daily, even better. You're constantly putting out content. What it says to the audience is, well, I don't know who Eric Green is, but he certainly seems to know a lot about IRS representation. Maybe we should call him. YouTube videos. Now, my podcast is a bit different, but YouTube videos, 2 to 3 minutes. That's it. That's about all the normal American can handle these days, sadly. Right? It's a different issue for a different podcast. They don't have the attention span. 2 to 3 minutes. That's it. All right. That's all you got to do. You can do it on your phone. No equipment needed, right? I'm sure you have a smartphone. You hold the phone, hit record, give your 2 to 3 minutes, try to be personable because people want to listen to people who are personable, not boring and dull, and post. Done. That's it. All right. That is as easy as it is. All right. Now, we have some other new tools that I didn't have 25 years ago. Artificial intelligence. You have AI, ChatGPT, Jasper, that'll generate written content. They'll also generate pictures. Pictory will actually generate a video for you. All AI. You don't even have to be in your own pictures and videos. All right. So there's really today no excuse for why people can't put out content. You just have to be disciplined about it. Right. And that two of the big things I find with successful clients of mine. I do have a couple clients that are brilliant people. They're just brilliant people. They're like oddities in that way, meaning they're like so brilliant. You're kind of like, they're special. You didn't even know them, but they're rare. The other billionaire or close to billionaire clients I have, if you want to use money as your definition of success, they're not brilliant. They had an idea, they executed on that idea in a disciplined, obsessive way, and they just kept driving the machine. U.S. Grant, right? Ulysses S. Grant, maybe the greatest general we've ever had, or certainly one of them, all right, was quoted as saying, after a battle, when both sides feel that they've been beaten, one side will continue the attack, and that is the side that will win. Meaning, and again, if you're a history buff, right, you go back to Shiloh, the Union gets really beaten the first day, but they managed to hold on that little piece of land. The next day, when both armies normally would have slunk away, he went on the attack. He got more troops overnight. They went on the attack, crushed the Confederates, and sent them running back to Corinth. The point being, all right, if you're worried about, I have competitors, Eric, there's other firms, they're not going to do this. They're just not going to do it. If you want to master this, and again, if you want to dominate, and that's what we set out to do, all right, you just have to be disciplined to keep doing it, even on the days you don't feel like doing it. If you do that, I can guarantee you your competitors won't. And that is how you're going to dominate your market. All right. There are a lot of other lawyers that have watched me. I've had them copy my webinars, and they've done 2, 3, and that's it. They've stopped. It's a lot of work. They weren't really seeing anything, and they moved on to something else. We keep doing it over and over and over. And over time, it builds and builds. There's no secret to what I do. I even wrote a book about it, how to build $1 million practice. They don't do it. Okay. All right. Listen, their practice, they can do whatever they want with it. So the point is here, for marketing, you don't have to be on TV and have acting lessons. No. You just have to be helpful. Put out good content that people want to hear. All right. If you go into it with a view of, I am here to help people. I can help people solve their worst tax problem. I don't know how I'm going to solve it just yet, but I can solve it if you work with me. And you put out content with that in mind, you will attract clients. They're going to want to be associated with you. Okay. So don't get hung up on the marketing. All right. But you got to market. We have a whole section in Tax Rep that just does this. All right. We do a monthly marketing call for this reason. We have members, that's usually their biggest thing. They want to get trained to do this, and they want to know how to get clients. And they're usually a little underwhelmed about, that's all I got to do. It's not complicated. The marketing's not complicated, but you have to do it. It's the discipline that most people lack. All right. 3, we're going to price ourselves accordingly. And I don't mean to offend the accountants. All right. Bookkeeping, it can be automated. There's a lot of bookkeepers. Tax prep, it can be automated, right? Ignition for the letter, Listio for the organizer, feeds it into Gruntworks, prepares the individual return. It's got to be reviewed. That's automated. All right. We are going to become a specialist. So what do you want to do? Tax advisory, right? Get into doing tax advisory. The return is an afterthought. It's a report card that comes up after. It's after year end. The real work is done during the year. And if you can explain that to your clients are going to be willing to pay the higher fees because they understand what they're paying for. If their view is, well, it's a tax return, I can get a tax return anywhere. Well, who's doing the planning? Who's helping you with your cash flow? Wouldn't you like to know what you're buying and those moves you're making during the year, how those impact? And can I give you advice on how to minimize your taxes? The return is the report card. Okay. IRS rep. There aren't that many of us. We charge very good fees and people pay it. They need us. And with all the craziness going on at the government right now and over at the IRS with the layoffs and everything else, IRS won't go away. The automated enforcement is just going to expand, which means taxpayers aren't going to be able to deal with a human being. We're already seeing an uptick. We've had accountants call. The appeals officer is now retired. Their client is hysterical. They don't know where their case is. They need us. Okay. The demand for our services is only going up. We charge accordingly. And clients generally don't balk. Why? They need us. This is the difference between being a family physician and a cardiac surgeon. If you need a cardiac surgeon because you're going to die if you don't get the heart transplant or the bypass done or whatever, you're going to pay whatever it is. Who's going to argue price at a time like this? When the government is squeezing them, there's a saying that some people in organized crime that I've met over the years have told me, I don't think hey, you know what? I will repeat it here. It's between us. You don't mind. All right. Basically, that when you have them by the balls, their hearts and minds will follow. Meaning, when they need us, they're going to do whatever it takes. They may not like it, but they need us. I've actually had some clients over the years say, you know what, Eric? Thank you very much. I hope I never see you again. I get it. It's not personal, but you don't want to be here. I said, no, you want to come here. You just want to go over to the other side of the office for the corporate and estate planning. Yeah, that's right. If I come back, I want to go right, not left, right? But if you come into our office and you head left, Jeff Sklar's in the bankruptcy group is there, and then you run into the tax group where we do controversy. If you go right, you run into the corporate M&A folks and our estate planning partner. So if you're successful, you go right. If you're having problems, you head left. Anyway, okay, we are going to charge accordingly. We are now masters at this. We're good at what we do. We're good at communicating what we do, and we charge accordingly. I am not the cheapest person. I'm not the most expensive, but I will not be the cheapest person. I don't want to be the cheap option. You want to go cheap, so go somewhere else. You'd be happier somewhere else. All right. Lastly, with everything I just told you, what you need to do right now, I don't care if you're driving, listening to this, if you're watching this on your phone, make a commitment, not to your friends and family. I know you love them and they love you. You're making a commitment to yourself, the person looking back at you in the mirror, right? For me, when I went on my own, I was terrified, but I had to do it. And I remember literally looking in the mirror saying, I will not let you down. And I would get up early in the morning and I would work and I'd run to my appointments and I would get home at night and do the work because I needed to make the money. All right. Weekends. And it will tell you, it did put a little strain. All right. My wife understood it, but it was tough. But that was it. Make the commitment. What are you committing to? You're going to make the climb. You see the top of the mountain, you're going to make the climb. You can go as fast or as slow as you want, but you got to commit to making the climb. Same way, if you want to get in shape, make the commitment. You don't go to the gym in 8 hours and just crush yourself. You're just going to probably end up at the doctor's office. But you're going to commit. I'm going to go every day for 30 minutes. That's it. And I will get into shape because I'm doing it over and over and over. It's the commitment and the consistency that matters, all right? Whether it's the marketing, whatever. And by the way, parts of this are going to suck. There are going to be bad days. There's going to be marketing that doesn't work. You're going to try it, doesn't work. Get up and try something else. Get up and try something else. Keep going, all right? One, you're going to make the climb and just embrace the suck. Understand that there are going to be pitfalls, things that go wrong. We're going to pick up, brush ourselves off, and keep going. All right. Because if you want to make change, you need to bring massive effort to it consistently. So make the commitment to do this, right? Make the commitment, and you're making the commitment for yourself. Yes, your family and your friends and all the rest, that's all well and good, but you're really doing this, I assume, for yourself to be happier, own your own business, create an asset that you can sell, and actually get control, live a rich life. And I mean, rich, we don't mean money, right? A life where you can do what you want, go where you want, work when you want, and with whom you want. Isn't that kind of the dream? Not too many people I know want to just sit around and do nothing, but they don't like the way they have to work now. They're not happy with what they're earning now. Let's make the change. All right. So it's the commitment. The commitment is to yourself. All right. And listen, one more final thought. We keep putting out content. All right. If you can, go in and comment. Tell me what you think. Tell me about your journey. All right. Your experience. All right. And I will try to comment back. All right. We have a great community. We keep growing. And if you like what we're doing, you like the content, if you could hit like and subscribe, let's keep spreading the wealth. Share this videos with some other folks you think might need it. All right. But remember, lesson for today, we're going to dominate. Or whatever it is you're focusing on, again, for me, it's IRS rep, whatever it is you're focusing on, make the commitment to dominate that. It's not complicated. You just make the commitment and put forth the effort. And it's going to take a lot of effort. All right. Consistent effort. But trust me when I tell you, you can do this. There's nothing that is beyond you. Right. You just have to be willing to do it, make the commitment to the person in the mirror, and get after it. All right. So, guys, listen, thank you for tuning in. I'm Eric Green. We'll see you on the YouTube channel or on next week's podcast here at Tax Rep Network. Bye-bye.